Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Fair Life with Andrew McKee. I am, wait for it, Andrew McKee. So great to see you all again. It's been another week, and wow, we're back in the swing of things because while I took so much time off, almost, gosh, I guess it was a couple of months, that, yeah, now doing the week to week thing again is kind of cool. It's a lot more fun. And things are really picking up with I'm going to start doing fairs again and having my weekends be packed, and it is yeah, then the weeks will be filled with a lot of fair life's a fair stuff, and I'll get to hang out with y'all. So yay, it should be fun. And hey, great to see you all, Harvey and Kevin and Kurt and Damaris, and Alicia's in too, yes, and Kathy. um, yes, and you make a really, really good point. So I'm just going to go ahead and put up the graphic because I haven't really been doing that. So here you go. So yeah, please do like and subscribe and do all of those things, whether on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, because I do dual stream to both. And I'm looking at the possibility of doing more. Yeah, I had a long talk with somebody this past weekend about Twitch as a possibility, and I'm on the fence. I'm going to be honest. So yeah, if I honestly doubt any of you would be really interested in jumping onto Twitch anyway, unless you're already on it. But it would be an opportunity to have some new viewers as well. So that's kind of why I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I mean, there definitely would. I'd have to configure a few things differently. So yes, yay, and yeah, Janine, yes, found me on YouTube. Yes, good, and that's why I dual stream, because not everybody's on Facebook, and YouTube, while great for videos, Facebook is normally better for chatting. So I like to have both, and from day one, that's how I set it up, and I've been very happy that I did. It's the little things. And yes, right, Alicia, it's all coming down quick, isn't it? The year is gonna start flying by here. Yes. Oh, and hey, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Yeah, excellent. Oh, Kathy, you're on Twitch? Okay. Okay. Well then, I mean, what would you think? Would you think this would work well on Twitch? I would love to hear your opinion, because I like I said, I assume that most of you would stay where you are and watch it the way you're watching it now. But I definitely would like to, yeah, I'm always open to more. And because of the way my setup is, I can restream to multiple different places easily, without having to go through a third-party service, which is good because third-party services, it's just another thing that can go wrong in the chain. So I try to avoid that where I can. Yes. Okay. Use Twitch to watch other groups? Okay. Oh, Kevin's on. Okay, Kevin's on Twitch too. Oh, and Kim is saying Twitch, yes. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting. I was expecting the people to say, yeah, if you want, but apparently this is a thing, so I should really jump on this. Okay, fair enough. Message understood. Okay, and Janine's take is don't necessarily see a lot of benefit. But yeah, and that's really it. It might reach a few more people. Okay, here's how it is now. It used to be where you couldn't dual stream to multiple platforms. They've since amended that because they got a lot of flack over it. And recently, what the situation is that you can dual stream, but you can't reference the other streaming sites on Twitch. I mean, you can do it elsewhere, but like if you show chat on the window or whatever, it can't it can't be from another site, like Facebook chat showing all the time on Twitch. So what I would have to do is, what I would probably end up doing is taking away the graphics, like here where I do. Well, here, I'll just throw up James's comment here. This year's flying by. Next week's Halloween, and you'll notice it has a little Facebook graphic there. What I'd do is I'd probably end up taking those away if I jumped onto Twitch, where you wouldn't necessarily know where the comment was coming from, which platform, but you would be able to see the comment. And that's I think I can get away with it that way. I know I'm walking a fine line, but I'm going to do a little more research on that and see, because I really, if I'm just showing comments from, I mean, it could be comments from anything or quotes. What they're really worried about is essentially advertising another platform. And I kind of understand, but at the same time, well, don't get me started. And hey, James, great to see you. Oh, need a new setup? Okay, we'll talk. We'll talk. Yeah, I do know a few Ren Fair performers. That's who I was. One of them. You might be the one you were you watch. I was talking to April Knight on Saturday about that, and we had a long conversation about Twitch and the pros and cons. And she seems to like it okay, but also I don't know. I mean, I guess there's more of a nerd culture over there, a more gaming culture approach. But at the same time, I do conventions, so it's not as much of a stretch. Mm. Right, right. Generally, I'm still looking at Bandcamp for that type of thing to do music performances. But having options is good, certainly. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm certainly will look into that as an alternative. Yeah, and that's something I would definitely consider. I mean, like I said, Bandcamp is normally the approach for Patreon that I look at, but yeah, I mean, that would be doable. It wouldn't be out there. And hey, Taylor, thanks for joining. Okay. Okay. So YouTube is the option, but Twitch would work well too. Okay. So yeah, I mean, and that's part of the reasons why I divvied it up to Facebook and YouTube to have options, because well, like Facebook wouldn't work so well on a TV, but YouTube works pretty well, like going through a Roku or a Amazon Fire Stick or however you connect your TV to streaming. So it opens up some possibilities that makes it a little easier. Okay. Okay. Well, hopefully, here's the thing about Twitch. They have, you can do a much higher bit rate on Twitch, which is great. So you can do very high quality video. But that means you have to download high quality video. And if your internet connection is not stellar, it's going to be a little janky, and it's a problem. So, I mean, for gaming, high speed moving around games, that's important to have insanely high bitrate. But for something like this, or even music, I mean, you want the audio to be good, but the video doesn't have to be perfectly crisp. You can give and take a little bit and do a much lower bitrate than what they normally do. So what I would do on Twitch would probably be fine. But I'm guessing that's what's going on with you, Janine. Yeah. And Alicia's reminding me that, yeah, we're already, okay, fine. I should go ahead and do the standard, February 26th birthday. Congratulations to Christopher Marlowe in 1564. Although I have to put a caveat to this. Technically, we're not sure if this is his birthday. This was his baptism day, and that's what was recorded in the church records. They didn't record birthdays, so generally, the birth date was a day or two before the baptism day back then. But it did happen sometimes where they were baptized on the same day they were born. It did happen, but it varied. So when we celebrate Christopher Marlowe's birthday, it's always his baptism day, which is today. So there you go. Now, Christopher Marlowe's an interesting character. Everybody knows Shakespeare, but and Marlowe was a contemporary, but wrote a lot of great stuff, heavily influenced Shakespeare. but definitely a fascinating character that not much is known about. A lot of rumors about his life, but not many facts known. And it's, I don't know. I mean, I'm really surprised they haven't done a really good movie about his life. Um, I mean, he could be the Renaissance James Bond if they wanted to go that way with it, with the story. I mean, they'd have to make up some of it, but based on some of the rumors, wouldn't be that far off if they went that way. So yeah, I think it would be an interesting route, definitely. Oh, Jeff, yeah, throwing in some extra information. Um, okay, well that's something I'm looking into right now. So I'm I'll check that out. Thanks for letting me know. Definitely. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's generally lowering the if you lowered what the resolution, you went from like full HD to 720p or 480p like DVD quality, you could that would lower the bit rate and it'd be easier. That's probably what you did. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Alicia. Marlowe, yeah, definitely average public. I mean, usually Marlowe is used as some foil in a movie or play or story about Shakespeare, especially because of the mystery surrounding his death, very unusual circumstances. So, you know, it works out well to throw him in there. But yeah, I mean, but that being said, I mean, they throw historical figures that nobody knows about all the time in movies and make a big deal out of it. So, of course, not as much as they used to. Now they all want the bankable, the bankable hero or interesting story that will get people in. I mean, into the theater. It's not like it used to be with theaters, movies, right? Totally, I would too. Oh, that's a good example. The Tristan and Isolde movie. Yeah, that was I. That movie. I don't know. I sort of had a love hate relationship with that movie. I thought some of things they did really well, and some things they kind of made a few missteps. Um, I also think it wasn't marketed very well, kind of like what you said. They didn't really handle that right. Well, I blame high schools for that. Yeah, Romeo and Juliet. That's just so ubiquitous. Definitely. Yes, yeah, Sophia Miles and James Franco. Yeah, not the best casting choices. I mean, Sophia Miles, very good. Franco, he's always been very hit or miss for me in what he does. Some things he does all right, but yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. Very fair. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Well, let's see. What have I been doing? I mean, I'm still trying to catch you up on what I've been doing the last few months. One interesting thing that I've been working on is working on dance music. A friend of mine, Whitney, who some of you know, who's helped out with this channel, wow, and Life's a Fair in general, a good bit over the last few years. She, one of the many things she does, because let's be honest, there are many, is she teaches dance and uh, taught, uh, did Renaissance dance at fairs for many years. So she does a Renaissance dance class in, well, technically historical dance class because it changes centuries here and there in Austin. And one of my best friends, she just said, "Hey, I'd love to have some live music." And I said, "Hey, let's do this." And I was taking a break from this, so it was a nice opportunity to just kind of keep my hand in and work on music now and then. So I've gone with some other musicians, and we've played and had a really good time playing music for this dance. And this is at First Street Studio in Austin, and but normally have it every other Saturday and then every other Thursday at night. So of course, now that Faire started up again, I'm not going to be able to do it on the Saturdays, but yeah, something to be aware of. If you're interested in doing some historical dance, check it out, First Street Studio. If you want to know more, feel free to message me and I can shoot you some information. But you can just look up for Whitney First Street Studio, Austin, and you'll find it pretty easily. Yeah. Yep, Whitney's amazing, and she'll be out at Sherwood as well. Definitely. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. She teaches dance there at the studio, but also goes around the country and well outside the country too, to different conventions and teaches historical and fantasy dance. So, um, considering some of the things she's done and taught, you're not far off on that, Lisa. So yeah, definitely not that far off. Yeah. Oh, some other interesting news. A couple of weeks ago, Google made a great announcement, at least in my mind. And considering my view on Google, it's rare for me to say anything they did was great. But I guess it's more fair to say they undid something that I was ticked off about. But yeah, you all probably remember Google Bard. That was their AI, their online AI software that you could use. And they, a couple of years ago, they framed it as Google Bard. And it really ticked me off because all of a sudden they were going to, they're Google. So any search that went to Bard, they were going to dominate because they run the search engines pretty much. So it was a big problem, something that I was concerned about for my marketing future. Well, they announced they were changing it to Google Gemini. So it's no longer Google Bard. Yes. Whew. And I was so happy about that. So that is a great thing. Now, if I can just get Beyonce to change her, to rename her CD from Renaissance to something else, life will be complete again. But, small steps, small steps. Google's a big one, so I'll take it. Oh, wow. Okay. Now it's offensive to Geminis everywhere. I love that. Yes, Alicia. Okay, that's a good point. I'm a Taurus, so I did not take direct offense, but I see your point. That is a good point. Yeah. Okay. I didn't really think about that, but that's a very good point, guys. While it's good for me, it's but let's be honest, there's so much stuff online about for astrology. I don't know if it would be as much of a noticeable thing. Where bards, your only competition is really, okay, there's Shakespeare and Dungeons and Dragons. That's really all you have to fight when you're trying to promote yourself online. With this, there's a little bit more. So I don't know. I don't think it's quite as much of a night and day thing, but you're not wrong. Astrology, yeah, that is going to be annoying to an extent. Definitely funny, but true. Yes. Well, yeah, okay, true, but hey, we're all special in our own way. I grew up in the 80s. That's what I learned. But yeah, no. This was, yeah. I'm just really happy that they changed it, and maybe they'll change it again and go with something else. I think instead of going the astrological route, they were trying to. My assumption is they were going more the space route, like the Gemini space program in NASA history, trying to make it seem more futuristic. That's my marketing guess anyway, but that doesn't help with searches, so you're not wrong. So anyway, yeah, other thing is this coming up weekend, Sherwood Forest Fair. Whitney will be there. I'll be there. Some of the others watching now will be out there. And 8 weekends. So Mondays, you'll get to see me with my semi-conscious face on, where I'll be going, hey, how's it going? I slept for 12 hours last night. Oh my God, like that. Because Mondays traditionally have always been recovery day for me. But so yeah, I'm definitely probably gonna start working on my the following week's show on Tuesday and taking it easy on Monday. I've learned to plan ahead on that. But yeah, it's been interesting. I was there on site on Saturday to do a little practice with the dancers. For that, I play 3 songs for dances right before the parade, and it's fun. I felt weird driving all the way out there just to play 3 songs. I know it helped the dancers, but it was still an hour and a half of driving just to play 3 songs. But there were some sound issues with the sound system they had out there, and we worked on that for about 15, 20 minutes and got that settled, and that made it worth it to me, for sure. So I'm glad it all worked out and it helped, and the weekend should be perfect. So that's always good. Always good. Um, I know, but seriously, I mean, I'm not usually going to be driving from a fair, when I'm traveling around on Monday. It happens, but I really try to avoid that. Tuesday, I'm usually going to be on the road. Wednesday, Thursday, I might be on the road. Even Friday. So Monday just made a lot of sense. And even though it's maybe not the best day, for some reasons, I think it's the best day overall. I'm a fan. I mean, I'll joke about it, but I still think it's the best day. And I know we could change it. I know, but no, I like to come up with what works best. But that's why I said what I'm doing is I'm making sure I don't have to work on the show during the day on Monday. I can sleep in on Monday morning. Yeah, I've learned my lesson from that, where I'm dead tired, but I wake up early because I have to work and do all of these graphics and work on things. Yes. Well, yes, yes. Yes, you're not wrong. It really is. It really is that special sacred day. Very much so. Very, very much so. You're not wrong. Oh, another little tidbit. Yeah, the 19th annual Renaissance Festival Awards are coming up, and they are the awards show episode of the Renaissance Festival podcast will announce the winners this Saturday, March the 2nd. So that'll be released as a podcast. If you follow the Renaissance Festival podcast, hey, check it out. It is, yeah, I mean, it's 19th annual. Oh my gosh. I mean, my old bandmate and good friend Mark Gunn started that Renaissance Festival podcast and the awards. I remember having discussions with him about why to start an awards program and to do that. It was wow, and yeah, it's really crazy. 19th annual, son of a, that's really nuts. But it's really come a long way, and people really get into that. It's really good. So yeah, if do any of you follow that or vote on that, or do any of you even care about awards? Are awards even important to you? Is it a thing? Not really. I mean, certainly marketing wise, awards carry some weight. And originally, that's, I think, one of the reasons why Mark started it. He's passed it on to somebody else now. But yeah, it's been going on for a while. And yeah. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks. Appreciate that. But yeah, no, that was it was interesting. Who did I just mention? Mark Gunn, my old bandmate and friend. He started the Renaissance Festival podcast. He passed it on to somebody else, but yeah, like myself, well, we both are, we spread ourselves pretty thin. We do a lot of different projects, and I think it was smart of him to pass it on because it's been built up and is definitely flourishing. So good for them. Mm. Aw, that's sweet. But yeah, no, this is just it's really good. Oh, and as an aside, I am up for an award. Let me see if I read this right. It says Lane Solo Music Vocals Performance category. They really need to work on the names of their categories. I'm just saying. But essentially, what that means is it's a lane act that does music and is solo. So a solo lane act that does music is essentially what I'm up for. So we'll see. We'll see if I win. But no pressure. But yeah, definitely wild. Definitely wild. Something to check out. I'll be looking for that. And Monday, if I win, I'll let you know. And extol the virtues of award ceremonies. If I don't, well, award ceremonies are okay. No, I mean, I don't know. Award ceremonies, I watch the Oscars every year normally just to kind of keep my hand in and see how things are going. But I really, yeah, I mean, awards shows, it's almost too many of them. And sometimes they're not always fair. Like this awards, the Ren Fair Awards, they're really, I mean, it's all based on votes. So it's a little more like a popularity contest, very high school. But at the same time, I don't know how else I would do it unless you got some committee together to make decisions, but then that can get political. So I think this was the best way to do it, but I don't know if it's always representative of who the most popular is, really. It's more like who the best marketer is normally, but I don't know. It's one of those things where I think it's fun and people can get into it, and anything that makes Ren Fair fun, I'm behind. Funny. Yes, I think I used to be a lame act, but I finally evolved into a lane act. It took some time. It did. Oh wow, unfair fair attire. I like that. That should be a segment. I like that. Oh, thanks, Harvey. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm just working on all that, and I'm gonna. Okay, I can tell you right now where I'm gonna be at. I'm gonna be 8 weekends at the Sherwood Forest Fair, then a few weeks off because originally I was gonna do Scarby, but that fell through. They've made a lot of adjustments this year for Scarby. I've been hearing some weird rumors about that place, so we'll see. Um, but after that, in May, I'll be heading off to the New Jersey Fair, and I'm sure I'll see you there for 4 weekends. And then right after that, boom, drive 1,400 miles to go do 2 weekends at the North Dakota Fair in Fargo. So that's where I'll be. Well, we all have that level that we want to achieve. Fair enough. New Jersey Fair is located, it's more in southern New Jersey, and it's geez. Um, they've moved it like several times in the last year. But this year I think it's the same location as before, the fairgrounds. Um, the the county fairgrounds they have down there, and it's you're gonna have to look it up. I don't know off the top of my head, but it's more like southeast of Philadelphia, if that helps a little. So it's more in southern Jersey, and which is, I think, good because that's a very lovely area. It really is. It is a lovely, relaxed, small town kind of feel area, and very pleasant drive. I liked it a lot. I was there last year, and I really liked it. So I'm really glad to be going back. Thank you. Yes, I knew somebody would be on who could throw that in. Burlington County Firegrounds. It's called Firegrounds. Really? Okay. Well, I'm not sure if that was a typo, but maybe. Always fun. Okay. Well, oh man, it's already 7:30. Oh, fairgrounds. Okay, good. That makes it better because you never know with Rennies. Firegrounds might be a thing. I'm just saying. Oh, You may not be coming up for for New Jersey. Oh, that's a shame. Well, sounds good. Hopefully we'll get touch base again. But yeah. Yeah, right. I mean, that should be the Viking fairs, the fire grounds. That really should be a thing. In fact, we should mention that to Viking festivals because I think it should be a thing for sure. Yeah, you're not wrong. It is 7:30. Let's go ahead and jump on and do the fair list real quick. Yes, let's see. Fair map. Here we go. Okay. Fair map should be pretty quick. Not much different than last week, but a little bit. The fair cruise, the Ren cruise, went off today. So from Eastern Florida. So yeah, that's happened. And we'll just jump right in here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and enable the important stuff, aka woohoo! Yay! Alrighty, we have the laser pointer activated. So, going over in the east, we have the Bay Area Renaissance Festival in Florida. This is Dade City, Florida, and yeah, it's 7 weekends long. The theme is Barbarian Brewfest. I cannot make this up. Barbarian Brewfest. This is weekend 3 of 7. So yeah. Below that in Florida, we have the Florida Renaissance Festival. This is in Deerfield Beach, Florida. And yeah, that is an 8-weekend fair. The theme this weekend is Lords of the Ring. Not Lord of the Ring, Lords of the Ring. I guess they're trying to avoid getting sued. And this is the 5th weekend out of 8. So good for that. Jumping over into Alabama, right? I mean, the Alabama Medieval Fantasy Festival in Greenville, Alabama, just 1 weekend. And yeah, no theme and just, yeah, one of those nice 1 weekend events. So something to check out. Then going back down to Florida, we have the Gulf Coast Renaissance Fair and Pirate. Okay, I'm going to try to read all this. The Gulf Coast Renaissance Fair and Pirate Festival, Wild West Roundup and History Festival. That's literally what it says on their website. I know. This one's a weird one, and I almost didn't put it on here. And I'll explain why. It's been around for apparently a good while, a couple of decades, but it is very much a hodgepodge of everything. They have some actors who are out there, a Western writer, an Elvis tribute artist, an Elvis impersonator who's apparently notable, and they're all doing shows and autographs. And then they have some jousting knights, sword fighters, jesters, jugglers, fire breathers, musical minstrels, gypsy, and exotic belly dancers. Yes, they actually said exotic belly dancers on their copy. Falconry, magic, pirates, conquistadors, Wild West gunslingers, Al Capone's Roaring Twenties gangsters, swing dancing, a swing band, Civil War demos, a petting zoo, food, drinks, games. I know. It's a little weird. They have a little bit of everything here. I don't know quite. It's sort of like they're trying to do history as a theme, and I don't know. I'm gonna read up a little more about it and see what that is. But it's called the Gulf Coast Renaissance Fair and Pirate Festival, Wild West Roundup and Historic History Festival. And yeah, the verse is a way to put it, Harvey. Yeah. Having known belly dancers, calling them exotic belly dancers, I don't think they would usually appreciate that. And the Wild West gunslingers, that's odd. Yeah, I don't know. They also list on their website that they're an Amazon affiliate, and they have links to get affiliate credit at different parts of their website. So it's a really odd approach. Yeah. Anyway, I know, I'm sorry, that was a little long for this, but it just thought it was different enough I should share. Anyway, going over to Sherwood Forest Fair in McDade, Texas. We'll be starting up, and it will be 8 weekends long. This will be the first out of 8, and I will be there. So if that, not to be biased, but this is one of the best fairs. Okay, maybe I'm a little biased, but I do really like it. And this one is interesting. Just a little northwest is the Heartlands Renaissance Festival in Gustine, Texas. And that's 7 weekends. And this is new. And to do it right opposite, well, I mean, I guess to do it opposite Sherwood is not that weird. Texas is a big state, and if you look at like over here in Florida, I mean, stuff's a lot closer. So yeah, it's probably not quite interfering, but it is an interesting choice to do it that time of year. And they list on their website that every weekend is a soft opening. So this is very much a weird a test year for them, but they're doing it for 7 weekends. So it's really, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to be paying attention to that to see what people say about that one. It seems like this is very much more of a sample year, but it seems weird to do that for 7 weekends like that as a soft opening. So I'll be curious to see how that turns out. Yeah. Oh, really? Their website wasn't up 2 weeks ago? Wow, that's okay. I see your point. Yeah, that is better. Wow. Okay. Well, jumping over to Arizona. So last but certainly not least, in Apache Junction, Arizona. That's 9 weekends of Faire, but they're over at, what is it? The 5th out of 9 weekends. They've been going for a while. And the theme is Pirates and Brew Fest. So, yep, all about the brew. So there we go. Well, here's hoping that pillows are provided. Always good. Yeah. Wow. Oh, I went back to subscribe. Sorry, that was me. So, yeah, it's interesting. I don't know what to make. Some of these fairs, it's definitely an odd grouping. Yeah, definitely an odd group. I don't know if that's this whole tendency for some of the fairs to kind of expand and try some really different things. Not sure how I feel about it. I'll be honest. I mean, as a bard, there's always that concern to be wary of being a jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing. And if you spread yourself too thin, you're not really that good at anything. And I'm not saying that's how they are, but there's always that risk. So that's what I worry about. It's a little hodgepodgey. Of course, people have a lot of different interests. And the fair it's been going on for a while. So maybe that's what people wanted there in Florida. I don't know. I'll be doing a little more research on that one. It definitely sounds interesting. Definitely sounds interesting. So yeah, anyway, yeah, we're really getting late. Should I do 7 reasons? Should I really? I mean, okay, real quick, 7 reasons. I did 7 reasons Renaissance dance is fun because, well, it is. So I'll just jump in real quick and get the list out of the way. Since I've been working with Whitney, it's been kind of stuck in my head a little bit, and I've enjoyed playing every week or two. So yeah. Okay. Number 7, the first documented dance. I mean, back in the 15th century, they started actually writing down how to do dances. And before that, they didn't. You were lucky if you got music, sheet music that could be read. You were lucky if you got anything more than one painting of somebody doing a dance that wasn't even named. So you can try to derive a whole dance from a still. Yeah, trying to figure out what dances were like before that time. Let's just say it's more like going to Vegas and hoping for the best. So yeah, when you start getting into the Renaissance, all of a sudden you have documentation about this is what dancing was, and it's pretty exciting. It's a lot more fun when you know there's proof of this is how it was done. And number 6, it's different. I mean, let's be honest. You jump into Renaissance dance and you're like, this is different than what I'm used to. So that, honestly, that tends to make things exciting when something is different. Some people like to stick with stuff they're comfortable with, but if you do Faire, you're probably at least have a little bit of a love of new and different, and this qualifies. But it's not just that. Number 5, it's familiar. And here's why. The dance that came after it drew a lot from it. A lot of like square dancing. If you've ever done square dancing, and I'm in Texas, so of course you can't get through elementary school without square dancing at least once. It has that similar type of bass vibe to it, where, yeah, it's a little familiar as well, just a little. So it's not totally different. Then you jump to number 4. Recorders are appropriate. Now, I love dance where recorders are appropriate because, come on, I think recorders tend to get a bad rap in this world. They do. It's crazy because people look at it as a kid's instrument, even though it has a very rich and long history of professionalism. So, just like me. No, anyway. But yeah. Oh, did I not mention the name of that fair? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, you got that taken care of. Never square dance. Really? How did you manage? That's impressive. I mean, Texas is just like, you pretty much have to. That's wild. Preach, my friend. Yes. So anyway, number 3 reason that Renaissance dance is fun is, well, it is fancy. I mean, it's not fancy in that way where you go to your grandmother's house and can't touch anything and have to be really freaked out that you're going to break something and be disowned by the family, because that's the bad kind of fancy. But no, it's fancy in that there's a certain ornate quality to it, that of refinement that you can appreciate. I mean, not all dancing. You have country dancing as well. It's a little more relaxed, but yeah, some of the Renaissance dancing is definitely very fancy. And while it's not everybody's cup of tea, generally I think it's okay because it's also fun. It's fancy, but it's also fun. And there's a lot of things that are fancy that aren't always fun. So for me, I like that. I like that aspect of it. Number 2, it's a good time with friends. I mean, really, going with friends to do some dance. I mean, it's just a way to have fun with your friends, because especially at Ren Fair, sometimes friends will go to Ren Fair and they'll just be like, okay, I'll go over here, you go over there, you do your stuff, I'll do my stuff. And it's hard to find something you can do together. Couples have that all the time. It's rough to find stuff that you can do. And dancing is one of them where you can do as a group and enjoy it. So that's always nice. And number 1, it's interactive history. I mean, come on. I mean, VR, virtual reality, is trying to make history feel more interactive. They're not there yet. But this is, I mean, when you dance a dance, how they danced it hundreds of years ago, you're a reenactor at that point. And it's very interactive history. It's hard to hit that level with other things. It really is. Some things have it, but it's not common. And yeah, I really think that makes it very special in the genre. Always have opinions. Always have opinions. Okay. Now I feel like I have to do a special 1A. It's interactive history with Korabushka that is not Renaissance, but still great Tetris dancing fun. And that is one of my favorite dances. I can dance that dance faster than anyone I know. And I can play it faster than anyone I know. So that's it's a win-win. Always good. So yes, the classic. So that's 7 reasons. Boom, we got it. And Um, always fun. Whew. Okay, well, sorry this show ran a little long again. I felt after the last show, I kind of created a list of, okay, what things did I want to catch up people on and things that are kind of going on in my life and have been that I want to talk about. And I made a decent list, and I realized if I talk about half of these, the show is going to go pretty long. But I at least wanted to kind of fill it out and everything before next week when we start going into more segments and news and all of that. So I think we got most of it now, and we're good to go. And that's good because Faire is starting. One of the things I'm looking at doing is recording some of the groups out at Sherwood and doing some video performances, sort of like what we used to do on Thursdays here at Life's a Faire. Not a full show, but at least maybe a song or two from each group here and there, and do a little, I'm thinking about calling it a taste of Faire. Maybe doing it Thursday nights. So what do you think? Would you like that? Just to kind of have a little short form, maybe 8 to 10 minute video of a group, maybe a couple of groups doing a song or two each, and just, yeah, kind of that taste of Faire so you can kind of enjoy it. And I think it might introduce you to a few groups that maybe you haven't seen before. And as I travel around fairs throughout the year, I can maybe get more groups and more bits and recordings, and hopefully that'll help. So yeah, you think that's good? Okay, excellent. Okay, you like that? Excellent. That's good to hear, because you never know. Because sometimes people tell me, I'll say things and they'll say, oh, don't waste your time. That's not, it's not really. But I was hoping you'd like this. Thanks, I appreciate that. Okay, excellent. And hopefully it'll be a way for you to at least see a little bit of some groups you might not be able to see. And like I said, I'm going to be going from Sherwood over to New Jersey, over to North Dakota. So I'm probably going to see a lot of different groups here in the first half of the year from all over. So yeah, hopefully that'll be a good way to introduce and get something going. So yeah, as yeah, now we've had some good ideas for today, and definitely a good time. And yeah, and that's true. Maybe we can get Alicia to do some recording as well, since she'll be at Norman and Scarby. So between the two of us, maybe we can get a lot of this going. The hope is that we can get enough to do it every week. If not, well, at least try to get it every other week. It's really going to depend on time. At Sherwood especially, I spend so much time during the day doing things that taking time away to actually record a full show might be optimistic, but I'm going to be working on it. I'm going to try, and we'll see. And I might even record one of my shows just to, share what I can. So excellent. Sounds good. Oh, excellent. That would be great if you could, Taylor. That would be wonderful. Because yeah, it is some nice. The New Jersey Fair, it's still a fairly young fair. Did I just say fairly young fair? Wow, it is Monday. It is a young fair, but it really impressed me, especially with what they managed to do last year because of having to move it around a couple of times because of the problems with the location. And they did amazing stuff in a short amount of time. So I'm really looking forward to this year where they have a decent amount of time to do it the way they want. And I think it's going to be a great year. So yeah, definitely join if you can. Thanks, I appreciate that. So wonderful. Have a great week. And, this is starting, this is the beginning of the year for all of us, where we don't just get to enjoy a little bit of Faire, a taste of Faire, a Faire week, but no, we can have a Faire life. So take care, and I'll see you next week.